Peter Dew here from Corporate Communication Experts. I want to talk to you about managing first impressions. First impressions when speaking, when training, when facilitating. And there's that old saying that you're on before you're on. So people will have Googled you, they will have looked at your LinkedIn profile. So make sure that that first impression really is of a high standard. That's your profile photo, that's your LinkedIn updates. All of those things need to be tight, up to date, and project a good first image. The other thing is that first impressions do matter. You only have one chance of making a good first impression, and then you could spend a lot of time trying to correct or change those first perceptions. There's that research that says we form an opinion within 5 to 7 seconds of seeing people. And I think women's is around 5 seconds, men 7 to 8 seconds. So first impressions count. Your non-verbal communication really makes an impact. Are you walking into a room? Are you doing a handshake with confidence and with credibility? Or are you passive? Are you shy? Are you withdrawn? Is it a limp handshake? Are you standing there with a fig leaf looking like I'd rather be somewhere else? Or are you doing something very aggressive? The crushing of the hand in the handshake, the Donald Trump walk in the room, which is clearly a position of aggression and power. Your confidence matters. So the smile, the way you breathe, the way you hold yourself to help that first impression. One of the ways to make a good first impression is do your preparation. Who's going to be in the room? What are some good questions you can ask that enable them to talk and for you to listen? And really listen with empathy and with attention. That homework, that preparation, knowing the way you look, knowing the way you're perceived by other people, knowing what your body language is saying about you when you walk into a room, and correcting any little nuances that may give the wrong impression, the wrong first impression. The preparation can really help. I remember going to a comedy show and watching an English comedian. His name was Mark Watson. And he spent the first 10 minutes of a 45-minute comedy routine speaking about the AFL football. He was in Melbourne. And he spoke about the AFL football, about who might win, who was in the newspaper, who was in trouble, as if he knew the AFL scene inside out. And he built rapport and connected and made a brilliant first impression with the Melbourne audience. That takes a lot of preparation, a lot of knowing who your audience is. So first impressions matter. Make sure you use some of those tips to make your first impression when you walk on stage, when you move into a training scenario, when you go to a networking event. Make sure you make your first impressions matter. This is Peter Dew from Corporate Communication Experts.